Hey, what's up guys, Joshua's Boosters here and welcome back to another One Piece video. Today we are doing a video on more of a fun deck because I really love deck building and I really think this deck is extremely fun to play. Very similar to Zoro, but it does have some really cool interactions that I want to show off. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking a look at the deck list that I have put up here. And then we're going to be playing some high rated games. I already played them, going to be commentating over them. Because I want to show off what the deck does, right? And I'm like in the top 30 or something of OP bounty right now. So I did get some like good opponents, no huge misplays or anything, so you can really see how the deck does into some meta decks. The decks that I'm going to be playing against are going to be Blackbeard, which is a very good matchup for this deck, obviously, because it's very aggro, right? And then also Shanks, which is like more 50-50, but still like a relatively good matchup. And then I'm going to be having like a bonus game with a different deck list than this one, that I'm going to be showing later, against Black Yellow Luffy. So all definitely meta decks. We didn't run into any Doflamingo, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest, this deck is not very good into that, but it is actually surprisingly decent into the other matchups of the format. Let's go over the deck list real quick. We have, in case you're not familiar with the leader, activate main once per turn, puts up to 1 rested done onto each of your Animal or Drunk Kingdom type characters. So what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be playing out a character, then using this ability to like make your little creatures bigger. Basically, so we're on 2 Killer, or 2 Kid Killer, 2 Zoro for the Rush characters, as well as 4 Robson, because it's also an animal, right? And then the Zoro is searchable by Nami, which is nice, and Kid and Killer is just a little bit like more high impact, because we don't play any big bodies, so this is like one of our bigger swings. Then we have 4 of the Nami, Straw Hat Searcher, and 4 of the Kureha, which is the Tony Chopper or Drum Kingdom Searcher, so it looks at the top 4. Then for Straw Hat targets, we basically have the 2 Zoro I mentioned earlier. We have the Batman Chopper, the Blocker Chopper, and this Chopper, which is a new one, which set up to one of your Odyssey type characters with a cost of 4 or less as active at the end of your turn, which is very nice because it means if you play it out with the Batman Chopper, you can just put it standing at the end of your turn, so it will most likely survive, which is very nice. Then the Animal Engine, we have 4 ducks, 4 bears, 4 Robson I mentioned earlier, and 2 of the Lapin, which KOs a 4 type when attacking, not a 4 type, but a 4 power or less. So basically these are out to teach. Then we play Dr. Hiruluke, which is insane, but you're going to be seeing this in the gameplay footage. Then we're playing, of course, Shut Up and Come With Us, nothing to say about that. We're playing 1-0 cost events, because we're playing quite a decent amount of bricks, and we're playing 4 Law, which also has like a really cool interaction with this deck, which we'll also be taking a look at. So yeah, let's hop into first the Blackbeard and then the Shanks game. Alright, let's hop into the first game, which as you can see is against Blackbeard. Yeah, let's just watch how this plays out. So I win the Darrow up to go first because we just want to aggro. As you can see, the first hand was not very good. We didn't have any way to access our 3 cost Chopper. This one exactly, which is basically like the main part of the deck. We always want to be seeing that, or like Shut Up and Come With Us and hope to get it, because it just applies so much early pressure, and you really have to have that early pressure when you're playing this deck, because the late game is not very good. So what do we do about that? We just don't get to the late game. So our opponent plays out Duck Q here, which is fine in my opinion, because I'm like, okay, the only way he can out our 3 cost Chopper here is if he has the Laboon. So I'm like, okay, I'll just play the Chopper and then I get the when attacking effect next turn. But what do you know? Our opponent actually has the Laboon here. So yeah, set stuff. Our Chopper goes down. And here we have no unplays. Kura's not going to do anything. The Nami is going to have to out the Duck Q basically, because that Duck Q paired with something like Van Auger is going to get rid of anything we can play out. So we first attack over the Laboon here, so he doesn't like draw the 2k counter or anything to protect it. And then we just play out this this green Chopper here, because if it sticks around, if he can't kill it by card effect, we can go swing with it and then restand it. So he goes 7 on Nami here. Of course we let it go because it would be very expensive. Sadly he does have the out to the Chopper, but he doesn't establish any field here, so that's nice. And what's also good about this matchup is that Blackbeard will have to discard basically every turn, because it is very scary if we do get to resolve the Chopper effect. So we're on the black hole here. just thinking a little bit what I want to be doing here. We do have a lot of cards. I think I will eventually go for like 7k swing play Law, because Law is very hard to out for Blackbeard if he doesn't have the finger pistol. And what's also just good about this deck, people don't know what cards are running in this deck, right? So he discarded the finger pistol last turn, and maybe that means that he won't have access to it this turn because he was not expecting the Law. And just having the 5 cost instead of the 3 cost on the field here is very, very nice. And sadly, he does have the finger pistol though. Plays out the Burgas here. Discards, he opts to not swing. So he doesn't want to give us the extra card. But now, as you can see, we have a lot of rush cards on hand. We have the Robson and double Kid Killer. So we're really going to be able to pressure him quite nicely here. Especially since his hand size is very, very low, right? Only 3 cards. And we do have to apply a little bit of pressure here because he does have the Burgs established now. And we are a 4-life leader, so yeah. We do have a lot of counter in hand though, which is nice. Yeah, so I'm just going to go Kid Killer, swing 7 here. And if he discards 2 cards for this, that's fine, right? I mean, he goes down to 3 cards. He does go to 10 Don next turn though, so he will probably be playing the 10 cost Teach. I go for another 7k swing. He doesn't have a 2k, which is very nice. Now we just play out the Kureha because it's another body. And I can also give Don to it with the leader effect to make it like a little bit bigger. So he's going to swing 5 into Kid Killer here, which I'm going to counter with the blocker Chopper. And then he's going to swing 9 into the Kid Killer. And now to save it, we would have to basically pitch our entire hand. Which, like, I suppose in some scenarios that would actually not be the worst. But we do have the Robson in hand as like another rush character. So we might as well just let the Kid Killer go and just swing with the Robson next turn. So we don't have the swing with the Kid Killer here because he stuns it with the Teach. And now, basically, I'm quite sure he doesn't have a 2k in hand. Like, he could have drawn it from, like, last turn, but here I go, swing 6. And this is maybe a little bit of a misplay, because if he takes this, and it is a finger pistol, then that's not very good for us. Even though, like, we still wouldn't be in a losing position, because we do have 3 lives. So here I just go swing 6. Again, I opt to not play the Robson first to get like the free Don, because we do not want to lose to the finger pistol. And then we go 7 with Robson. And now basically we just win every time, right? So he does have the counter here, but it doesn't. I don't think there's an out for him to win. Actually, there might be if he had another Teach. He can run over both of our bodies. Actually, let's just see how this plays out. He actually gets to the Black Hole, which is probably the best card he can grab with the Lafitte. He runs into the Kura here. And the thing is, I know he can basically pop my Kid Killer. And if I save one of my bodies, then he will have to attack with the Blackbeard as well. And then he doesn't have a blocker, and exactly, then the game is just gonna be over. So yeah, that was the first game we saw against Blackbeard. Pretty straightforward. Again, this is a good matchup. Let's head into the next one. Alright, matchup against Shanks here, which is a pretty interesting matchup. So he opts to go second, I go first. As you can see, we are at 2 times speed, because if not, it's just gonna take very, very long. And there's not that much going on with the gameplay. I just want you to kind of enjoy it. So I opt to go for a 6k swing here, because I do have the double event in hand, which is of course very strong. So if I just play out Chopper, I can't force a counter out of his hand either. So the 6k swing and double event is pretty strong. And this is funny because he's also playing the animal package, but I do get to the Chopper with the event. And now I give a Don to the bear, because it means I will be able to use the boost ability. We boost our Chopper swing with 7, play out the green Chopper, which is the best one basically. He does have the 2k, but now as you can see, our field's already full. So if you high roll with this deck, it's very, very strong. Very, very fun as well. Just look at this, all these little creatures on the field. And honestly, like in this specific scenario, getting the green Chopper, it's not that high impact, because we already have a lot of creatures that are turned sideways, which can be attacked by his leader or character. But if you just have the the Batman Chopper and the Green Chopper, it's very strong because you will have nothing turned sideways, so your opponent will have to attack your leader. And that's good, right? Because we prefer to keep our field and the life is not that important. You'll see that your opponent's gonna be swinging into your field huge amount of the time anyway. They have to, right? They can't like counter out 6 5k swings every turn. That's just impossible. So he has 2 Don open here, which kind of signals that he might have the... what's it called? The... Red Rock. Is it Red Rock? You know the plus 4000 KO for forecast defense. For some reason the name is escaping me right now. I try to play around it a little bit. Because I think I made a little bit of a misplay here by defining the Don by going 7 on the Robson. Red Hawk, right, that's the name. And we get another Green Chopper here, which is nice because that means we will now have 2 choppers that are basically always gonna survive. Now we get to a scary turn. Adon Rayleigh is very, very strong against our deck because it makes all our guys very, very small. And Tankos Shanks is also very strong against this deck. However, the thing is, Shanks often does play a lot of non-counters, so if you just keep swinging 5, very often that is gonna be enough. So I opt to just let the characters go here because I'm gonna be playing out another chopper. This one. And we get to another of the Odyssey Chopper, which is very, very good. Now we're just gonna be trying to clean up the field. This is one of the few decks, like when they play the Animal Engine, where you can just kind of run through their boards. I'm gonna go 7 on leader. He hasn't used leader skill yet. He probably doesn't have a 2k. Play out the blocker, and now we're just gonna turn all our choppers active, which is very, very good. He's gonna go 5. I counter this with the lap band because the other swings are probably gonna be too big to counter. Because I do expect the Tankos Shanks coming down here, which is 12k, right? Which is very, very big. And it does make our guys essentially like 3000, which is a little bit annoying. So I block here. Here we grab the Zoro, which is decent top deck because we do want to apply pressure here. Actually, we probably do want to play the blocker here because if we don't, we kind of just randomly lose. Get the bear. He uses leader skill. And getting the bear here was a little bit of a misplay. Because I only have 3 Don to the fight with yeah. So I'm gonna go 5 again. It really looks like he has no counter in hand at all. Probably picked up the 2k bear from live. And now I'm gonna go play out this and then yeah, give 2 Don to those. Boost the chopper and then go 7. Which you will probably have to take, so we put him on 1 and then next turn we just have to get 2 attacks through, which hopefully we'll be able to do. So he probably didn't have a 2k, but he did have the 0 cost event in hand. And again, we're gonna stand all our choppers. Or well, not all of them, but actually, yes, all of them. So he won't be able to clear them unless he has Rayleigh. He does have another Shanks, which is annoying because it makes all our choppers 2k. Which is very, very tiny, of course. So I have to counter this swing because I want to keep all my bodies on the field. And we actually get the Higuluke from live here, which is huge. Because this Higuluke is basically just gonna negate his Shanks. So I just go for the test. This was a misplay, by the way. Because now there is a possibility I will randomly lose to Red Rock. Which, of course, we don't want. But now I can just go 5, 5, 7, 9. Which is, unless he has Red Hawk, that is gonna be a guaranteed game. And yeah, we're just gonna try that, which is, let's be honest, it is a little bit scary because the Red Hawk less life, it does happen, but he doesn't have it, and bam, there we go. Just math game, basically. Very, very nice. All right, so those were the games against Blackbeard and Shanks. Let's take a quick look at the more spicy decklist, I want to say, and then we'll do the last game as well. So just for this last bonus game, basically, this is a different list. And the special thing about this list basically is that we are playing the Captain Kid. As you can see, we're not playing the Lapan, which honestly it just doesn't come up that much. And we're not playing Kid and Killer, just playing the extra copy of Zoro because we can actually bring it out with the Kid effect, which is pretty cool. And the idea, of course, of this list is that we have all these small bodies on the field, which are very easy to clear. But once you pair them up with Kid, they are not so easy to clear. Sadly, as you're going to be seeing the game I'm going to be showing, which is against Black Yellow Luffy, this isn't really going to come up. But I still think it's worth it to watch the game just to see how Chopper plays into Black Yellow Luffy, basically. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so this is going to be the last game. We're going to be playing the Kid Chopper deck in this one. And we are against Black Yellow Luffy, which is pretty interesting matchup. As you'll see, this is going to be a race, especially since we are not playing any big characters. So if he does get to awaken at some point, it's going to be rough. 9k leader is, yeah. This deck is not built to deal with that, but yeah, you're going to be seeing that. So basically, I'm just going to be rushing him down here. I do have the lull here. Right, so we can go another 5 swing, and then we're going to go 5 with this guy's 1. He has to counter here, basically, right? Because, yeah, there's just no way he's going to be able to efficiently awaken at 6, and he definitely, I mean, is it even possible to, I don't think it's even possible to do it. And if he does, then it's just very likely that we're just going to be swinging in big. So we block here with the lull on the Robson swing. And because yeah, I expected him to play the Sabo. And now he can go 5, and he swings into our Robson, which is fine, because that leaves some space open to play out Higuluke. So now we're going to go 7k, 7k, 7k. Very, very strong. Is going to eat cards out of his hand. This is very unlucky that we hit into the I Have My Crew, which KOs a 3 cost. Because if he didn't, like, this was going to be really expensive for his hands, basically. So he's going to go swing with the Luffy there, which is fine, of course. Then he's going to swing with the... Oh, actually, first going to play out the Garb. And then, yeah, what this matchup is a little bit difficult because of the Egghead Luffy, because it's going to be able to pop one of our guys every turn. So if he goes Egghead Luffy, Sabo, it's just harsh, right? Especially since if you... I mean, you've seen the deck list, there is no Diablo Jumbo or Luffy in it. So yeah, play the event here, and sadly we get probably the worst hit you can get, which is the Ducks. And now he's going to awaken, probably, yeah. So he's going to go to 9k, which is annoying. 5 cards in hand, hit into the Chopper. We top deck the Kid here, which... So the thing is, the Kid would have been very strong here. And very strong if he didn't have the Kusan on field, right? But he does have the Kusan on field, so now we're just going to be forced to try to clear the Kusan. But we're just trying to eat the cards out of his hand, basically. And here I was like, if he lets the Kusan go, I'll just go swing with the Duckies and bounce him back to hands. So I don't have to swing with the leader, but then he didn't with the first 2 swings, right? So I'm like, okay, then I'll just go 5-5, and he saves the Kusan. But this is actually very good, because it would have been hard for us to get cards out of his hand. If he didn't protect the Kusan, but then he did protect the Kusan, so we could eat some cards out of his hand. But this does, of course, mean that in return he will be able to trade with the Kid, which is a little bit annoying. And now our hand is, yeah, let's face it, it's not very, very strong. There's no way to go for game here. We have no rush characters, no big characters. So I'm gonna be doing is, I'm just gonna be trying to out the Kusan, which is hard because he has double blocker. And now, yeah, I'll go 7 again, and I think I'll play out the blocker. Yeah. Because we have to build up some field presence, right? Because, again, the possibility exists that he's going to Rocket Luffy us, and he does. Oh, I just called it Rocket Luffy. I don't like that. I don't like that name. I prefer calling it Egghead Luffy. There was nothing rocket about it, right? But very lucky for us, our opponent doesn't have a good follow-up. He does put us on the clock here, though. Let's see. So I think I was hoping to get like a rush character from this Nami, but actually the blocker might be even better. So now we're gonna try to beat through the Moria. Again, he's going to try to protect it, and I'm just gonna hope he doesn't have more 2Ks by going 777. He's really going to try to keep it. So now we know that our 6k swing is going to resolve. He will probably block, yeah. And we get to keep the 1 Don open just in case we draw the event from life, I guess. So he's going to swing 9 here. And now I was doing math. After this, he can go like 10, 11, I think. Or 11, 12. I'm not completely sure. But as you can see, if he goes 11, 12, he can just counter out the first swing. And we do want him to commit to trying to game me here. So he goes 11. We do have enough to counter 12 in hand there. So I just block it to make him forced to go 7. And then I just counter out, and bam, there we go. We actually win the game with with Chopper. So, yeah, that was the video, guys. I really enjoyed doing this. I really love playing weird decks. I really think Chopper is extremely fun to play. After this, I'm probably gonna do RP Kid, because I also think that's a very fun deck. I do hope you enjoyed this this video. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. What you think about the deck, if you have like a different version of the Chopper deck. I'd love to see it or hear about it. Yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you do, I'll see you in the next one.